Listen carefully. There is a silent force at work in your life, an invisible barrier that is preventing you from reaching your fullest potential. You might not even recognize it, but it's there, keeping you from moving forward, from achieving greatness. It's not your circumstances, your job, or the world outside of you. It's your mindset. More specifically, it's the way you view yourself and your abilities, the beliefs you hold that limit your progress. These beliefs are the walls that you've built around yourself, and without even realizing it, they are keeping you trapped in a loop of mediocrity. The truth is, the number one thing holding you back is not something external. It's your own thoughts. We all have them, those limiting beliefs that whisper in our ears, telling us that we're not good enough, that we're not capable, or that success is meant for other people, not us. But what if I told you that these beliefs are the biggest lie you've been telling yourself? That the reason you're not where you want to be isn't because of external factors, but because of how you've been thinking. What if, right now, you could reframe those thoughts, question those beliefs, and start to see yourself differently? This is where curiosity comes in. It's time to ask yourself some hard questions. It's time to look at your thoughts and beliefs with fresh eyes. What are the things you've always believed about success? About failure? About your capabilities? And more importantly, are these beliefs serving you, or are they holding you back? Have you ever stopped to think that maybe, just maybe, you've been living under the illusion that success is something far away, something that only happens to the lucky or the privileged? The reality is, there is no secret formula. There is no magical road that some people take while others don't. Success doesn't happen because of luck. It happens because people dare to believe in themselves, to challenge the assumptions they've been fed, and to break free from the mental limitations they've internalized over the years. And here's where the shift begins. You need to become curious about your beliefs. When you start questioning why you believe what you believe, you begin to uncover the truth. And when you uncover the truth, you realize that nothing has been stopping you except your own mindset. Curiosity is the key to unlocking this door. It's the spark that ignites the flame of transformation. When you're curious, you don't accept things as they are. You dig deeper. You ask a why? Why am I holding on to these limiting beliefs? Why do I believe that I'm not good enough? Why do I think success is reserved for someone else? The more questions you ask, the more you begin to unravel the lies you've been telling yourself. But here's the catch. Curiosity requires courage. It's not always easy to face the uncomfortable truths about ourselves. It's easier to keep going through the motions, to keep living in a state of denial. It's easier to continue blaming external factors, our circumstances, the economy, the people around us, for where we are. But the truth is, when you take responsibility for your thoughts and beliefs, you take back the power. You realize that you have the ability to change your perspective, to break free from the chains of self-doubt and fear. Now, I want you to think about your current situation. Think about where you are in your life, your career, your relationships. Ask yourself, what's really holding me back from moving forward? Is it fear of failure? Is it the belief that I'm not good enough? Is it the fear that I'll never measure up? And then after you ask those questions, I want you to take it a step further. Start looking at those beliefs not as truths, but as stories you've been telling yourself. What if those stories aren't true? What if you've been operating under false assumptions this entire time? The more curious you get about your own beliefs, the more you begin to see the cracks in the walls you built around yourself. Curiosity opens the door to new possibilities. It shifts your mindset from one of limitation to one of expansion. When you start questioning your beliefs and assumptions, you begin to uncover a whole new world of potential. Potential that was always there, waiting for you to discover it. And when you discover it, when you start to see yourself in a new light, that's when the magic happens. That's when everything begins to change. So, I challenge you today, get curious. Look at your life with fresh eyes. Question the beliefs that have been holding you back and ask yourself if they're really true. Because the moment you start to challenge those beliefs, you begin to dismantle the walls that have been keeping you stuck. And once those walls come down, there's nothing stopping you from reaching your full potential. Your success isn't defined by your circumstances. It's defined by the mindset you choose to adopt. And it all begins with curiosity. It's easy to think that who you are today is who you'll always be. But I'm here to tell you that this is one of the biggest misconceptions holding you back. You see, we all have a certain image of ourselves, an idea of what we can and can't do, based on our past experiences and beliefs. But what if I told you that your abilities are not fixed, that you have the power to change, adapt, and grow at any point in your life? It's time to make the shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And let me tell you, it will change everything for you. A fixed mindset is when you believe your talents, intelligence, and abilities are static. It's the belief that you were either born with certain skills or not, that what you have today is all you'll ever be capable of achieving. When you think like this, you limit yourself. You start to believe that if you fail at something, it means you're simply not good enough, and there's no point in trying again. You shy away from challenges because you're afraid of confirming that you're not capable. But that's the trap, and it's a trap that keeps you from growing. On the other hand, a growth mindset is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed over time with effort, learning, and persistence. When you shift to a growth mindset, failure becomes less of a reflection of your worth and more of a stepping stone toward improvement. You stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start viewing them as opportunities to learn and grow. Instead of thinking that you're either good at something or you're not, you begin to understand that effort and practice lead to mastery. The key to growth is the willingness to keep going, even when things get difficult. Changing your mindset from fixed to growth is not an overnight process, but it's one of the most powerful shifts you can make in your life. It starts with the simple belief that you are capable of learning, evolving, and improving. No matter where you are now, no matter what your past looks like, you have the ability to grow. It doesn't matter if you failed before or if you're struggling right now. Every great achievement started with someone who had to learn, fail, and adapt along the way. No one starts at the top. Everyone starts at the bottom and has to work their way up. One of the most important aspects of a growth mindset is understanding that challenges are not something to be avoided. They are an essential part of the learning process. The people who succeed are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who keep going despite failure. They understand that challenges bring growth. Every time they fail, they pick themselves up, learn from their mistakes, and try again. They know that without challenges, there is no growth. Without setbacks, there is no progress. Let me give you a simple example. Think about a child learning to walk. They don't give up after the first fall, do they? They get back up, try again. Each time they fail, they get a little closer to walking. They don't see themselves as incapable just because they fall. They understand that walking is a skill that takes time, practice, and perseverance. This is the essence of a growth mindset. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about embracing the process of growth. Now, here's the good news. You're not alone in this. There are countless examples of people who have turned their lives around by adopting a growth mindset. Look at some of the greatest achievers in history. They didn't reach the top because they were naturally talented. They reached it because they never stopped learning, never stopped growing. They saw every failure as a lesson, every setback as a step forward. When you adopt a growth mindset, you become more resilient. You become less afraid of making mistakes and more focused on the progress you're making. This shift in perspective frees you from the fear of failure and opens up a world of possibilities. You start to take on challenges you would have avoided before. You stop comparing yourself to others and start focusing on your own growth. You understand that success is not an end destination, but a continuous journey of learning, improving, and adapting. So, how do you start making this shift? It begins with changing the way you view challenges and setbacks. Instead of thinking, I can't do this, try asking yourself, how can I improve? Instead of saying, I'm just not good at this, say, I'm still learning, and I will get better with practice. Embrace the idea that you are not defined by your current abilities. You are defined by your willingness to grow and evolve. Start viewing obstacles as opportunities to develop new skills and to prove to yourself what you're capable of. And most importantly, remember that the journey of growth never ends. Every step you take is a step toward becoming the person you are meant to be. Adopting a growth mindset will transform the way you approach life, work, and relationships. It will make you more adaptable, more resilient, and more open to learning. And the best part? You won't be limited by what you already know. You'll be empowered by the endless potential that exists in every moment of learning and growth. So make the shift today. Your future self will thank you. There's a powerful force that lies within each of us. A force that can either propel us forward or hold us back. That force is self-belief. When you have confidence in yourself, there's no limit to what you can achieve. But when that self-belief is shaken or absent, every obstacle becomes an insurmountable challenge. The truth is, mastering self-belief is one of the most important mindset shifts you can make. And it's the foundation for every success you'll experience. Self-doubt is something that we all face, even those who seem outwardly confident. It's natural to question yourself, especially when you're about to embark on something new or face a significant challenge. But what separates those who succeed from those who don't is how they handle that self-doubt. Do they let it control them, or do they rise above it and push forward? This is where true self-belief comes in. It's the ability to trust in your abilities, your decisions, and your potential, even when the world around you is uncertain. The key to mastering self-belief is to understand that it's not about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about trusting the process, trusting that you are capable of figuring things out as you go, and believing that you have the resilience to overcome whatever obstacles come your way. Self-belief isn't about being fearless. It's about having the courage to move forward in spite of fear. It's about knowing that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone to greater success. A lot of the time, our self-doubt stems from comparing ourselves to others. We see people who seem to have it all together. People who appear more confident, more capable, more successful. And we wonder why we're not there yet. But here's the truth. You don't need to be anyone else. You don't need to measure your worth based on the accomplishments of others. Your journey is unique, and so is your path to success. The only person you need to compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Are you moving forward? Are you growing? Are you pushing yourself to be better than you were before? The first step to building self-belief is to stop the negative self-talk. Pay attention to the things you tell yourself on a daily basis. How often do you tell yourself that you're not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable? These thoughts are the fuel for self-doubt, and they must be replaced with positive affirmations. Instead of focusing on what you lack, focus on what you have. Remind yourself of the skills, strengths, and experiences that make you who you are. You are capable of more than you think, and it's time to start believing in that. One of the most effective ways to build self-belief is through small wins. Every time you achieve something, no matter how small, it reinforces the belief that you are capable. Start setting small, achievable goals for yourself and celebrate each success. Over time, these small wins will build your confidence, and the doubts that once held you back will begin to fade. The more you succeed, the more you'll believe in yourself, and the more you'll realize that success is within your reach. Another key to mastering self-belief is taking action. You can't just sit back and wait for self-belief to magically appear. It's in the doing that belief is built. When you take action, even when you're uncertain, you reinforce the belief that you can handle challenges and solve problems as they arise. Action dispels doubt. Every step you take, no matter how small, proves to yourself that you are capable of moving forward, and that belief strengthens with each action. Self-belief is also about embracing your flaws and weaknesses. Nobody is perfect, and everyone has areas they need to improve. Instead of seeing these weaknesses as a reason to doubt yourself, see them as opportunities for growth. Understand that you don't have to be perfect to succeed. You just have to keep learning, keep improving, and keep trying. When you accept that you will make mistakes along the way, but that these mistakes don't define you, you take the power away from fear and self-doubt. Finally, surround yourself with people who believe in you, even when you don't believe in yourself. Your environment plays a huge role in shaping your mindset. If you're constantly around people who undermine your confidence or doubt your potential, it becomes much harder to believe in yourself. Seek out those who uplift you, who challenge you to be better, and who encourage you when you're feeling unsure. These people will remind you of your worth when you forget it, and their belief in you will help you find your own. Mastering self-belief is not something that happens overnight, but it's a journey worth taking. It's about building confidence through action, reframing negative thoughts, and embracing the process of growth. When you believe in yourself, you open the door to endless possibilities. You start seeing challenges as opportunities, setbacks as lessons, and failure as a necessary part of the journey. With self-belief, you unlock the power to achieve your goals, push past your limitations, and become the best version of yourself. So, today, choose to believe in yourself. You are capable, you are strong, and you are enough. Don't let anyone, including yourself, tell you otherwise. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep moving forward. Because when you believe in yourself, there's nothing you can't accomplish. Failure is not something to be feared. In fact, it is something to be embraced. We live in a world that often views failure as a negative, as a setback, or even as a sign of weakness. But I'm here to tell you that failure is one of the most powerful tools for growth. It's not the end of the road. It's a detour, a necessary part of the journey towards success. If you can learn to embrace failure as a stepping stone, you'll see it for what it truly is, a teacher. The fear of failure is what stops most people from even trying. People avoid taking risks, shy away from challenges, and stick to what they know because they're afraid of failing. But this fear is paralyzing. It holds you back from pursuing your dreams, from stepping outside your comfort zone, and from achieving the very things you desire in life. What you have to understand is that the only real failure in life is the failure to try, the failure to learn. Success doesn't come without failure. In fact, failure is often the precursor to success. Every successful person you look up to has faced failure at some point in their journey. They didn't get to where they are by avoiding failure. They got there by failing, learning from those failures, and continuing to push forward. Take a moment to think about all the people who have achieved great things. Do you think they succeeded on their first try? Do you think they never encountered setbacks? Of course not. They faced countless failures, but they didn't let those failures define them. Instead, they used them as stepping stones to build their success. Failure is a mindset shift in itself. It's about changing how you perceive it. Instead of viewing failure as something to be avoided, start seeing it as a valuable learning experience. Every time you fail, you gain a lesson. You gain new knowledge, a new perspective, and often a new approach to the same problem. When you embrace failure, you start to see it not as a negative, but as an opportunity to improve, adapt, and grow. Failure is feedback. It tells you what doesn't work, and in that it gives you the insight you need to find what has worked. Consider this. Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors in history, is said to have failed over 1,000 times before successfully inventing the light bulb. Can you imagine how many people would have given up after even just 10 failures? Yet Edison didn't see his failures as an end, but as part of the process. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work." This is the mindset shift we need to adopt. Failure is not a reflection of your abilities or your worth. It's simply a part of the journey towards success. One of the most important aspects of embracing failure is the ability to bounce back. Resilience is a crucial factor in achieving long-term success, and it's developed through experiencing and learning from failure. When you face failure, it can be easy to feel discouraged, to question your abilities, or even to give up. But the true test of your strength is how you respond. Do you let failure knock you down and keep you there, or do you get back up? Learn from the experience and try again. Resilience is what allows you to keep going when things get tough. It's the ability to view failure as a temporary setback rather than a permanent roadblock. With resilience, you understand that no matter how many times you fail, as long as you keep getting up, you're making progress. It's about building the mental and emotional strength to persevere through the difficult times, and knowing that every failure brings you one step closer to your goal. Another way to embrace failure is to reframe the way you think about risk. Risk and failure go hand in hand. Taking risks is a necessary part of growth, but many people avoid taking risks because they're afraid of failing. But here's the truth, playing it safe is the biggest risk of all. When you refuse to take risks, you limit your opportunities for growth. The people who succeed in life are the ones who are willing to take calculated risks, to step into the unknown, and to fail along the way. They understand that failure is a natural part of taking risks and that without it, there can be no growth. The most successful entrepreneurs, athletes, and creators have failed countless times before they found success. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company before he went on to revolutionize the tech industry. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team before he became one of the greatest players of all time. These individuals didn't let failure stop them. Instead, they used it to fuel their drive, learn from their mistakes, and keep going until they achieved their dreams. When you stop fearing failure and start embracing it, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. You stop playing it safe and start taking risks that push you toward your true potential. You begin to see failure not as something to avoid, but as something to learn from. The more you fail, the stronger you become. And the stronger you become, the closer you get to the success you've always wanted. Remember, failure is not the end. It's just a stepping stone on the path to success. Every time you fail, you're one step closer to your goal. The only way you lose is if you stop trying. So, embrace failure. Learn from it. Grow from it. And keep moving forward. Because in the end, it's not the failure that defines you. It's how you rise from it that matters most. Consistency is the quiet but mighty force behind every success story. It's not the grand gestures, the bursts of energy, or the dramatic moments that lead to lasting success. It's the daily, consistent actions you take. Success is built on habits or built on consistency. Many people start strong, fueled by motivation and excitement. But it's the ability to keep going day after day that separates those who achieve their goals from those who fall short. The power of consistency is often underestimated because we tend to focus on quick results and instant gratification. We want to see progress immediately. And when it doesn't come as quickly as we expect, we lose interest or give up. But here's the truth. Success is not a sprint. It's a marathon. And the key to making it through the long haul is consistency. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, even when the progress seems slow, and even when the world around you is chaotic. Think about it this way. If you want to build muscle, you don't go to the gym once, expect to be in peak physical condition. You don't lift weights for a week and then stop, hoping to see lasting results. You build muscle through consistent effort, repeatedly showing up to train, day after day, week after week. The same principle applies to every area of your life, whether you're working on a project, building a business, or developing a skill. It's the small, consistent actions that lead to massive long-term results. One of the reasons why consistency is so powerful is that it compounds over time. The results of consistent effort don't always show up immediately. In fact, in the early stages, you may not see any significant progress at all. But what you don't see is the snowball effect that's happening behind the scenes. Every action you take, no matter how small, is building momentum. And eventually, that momentum will carry you to the place you've been working toward. Let me give you a simple example. If you decide to read just 10 pages of a book every day, it may not seem like much at first. But over the course of a month, that's 300 pages. Over the course of a year, that's 3,600 pages. A few books worth of reading. You didn't have to spend hours every day reading, you just had to be consistent. That's the power of consistency. It may seem insignificant in the short term, but over time it adds up in a way that can completely transform your life. Consistency also builds discipline. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. It's about showing up even when motivation fades. And that's why consistency is so important. It's the foundation of discipline. When you make a commitment to yourself and stick to it, even when things get tough, you're developing discipline. And as you build discipline, it becomes easier and easier to stay consistent. The more you do something, the more it becomes a habit, and the more automatic your actions become. Soon, it won't take as much effort to stay consistent. We'll just do it. Now, I know that life can get in the way. There will be days when you're tired, when you're busy, or when things don't go according to plan. But the key to consistency is not perfection, it's persistence. If you miss a day or slip up, don't throw in the towel and give up. Just get back on track the next day. The most successful people aren't the ones who never face setbacks. They're the ones who get back up, dust themselves off, and keep moving forward. They understand that consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up no matter what. One of the most powerful aspects of consistency is that it builds trust in yourself and in others. When you show up consistently, you prove to yourself that you can be relied upon. You prove that you have the discipline to do the work, even when it's hard. And that trust in yourself becomes a powerful motivator. When you know you can count on yourself, you're more likely to keep going, even when things get tough. The same is true for your relationships and your professional life. When you are consistent in your actions, people begin to trust you. They know that you'll deliver, that you'll keep your word, and that you'll put in the effort no matter what. Consistency also helps you build confidence. As you keep showing up, doing the work, and making progress, you start to realize that you are capable of achieving your goals. Each small step you take adds to your belief in yourself, and the more you accomplish, the more your confidence grows. This confidence becomes a self-reinforcing cycle. The more you believe in yourself, the more consistent you become, and the more consistent you are, the more confident you feel. But consistency doesn't just apply to work or personal growth, it applies to your mindset as well. Consistently maintaining a positive mindset, even on the difficult days, is just as important as showing up to do the work. When you focus on progress instead of perfection, when you choose optimism over negativity, and when you consistently remind yourself that setbacks are just part of the journey, you begin to rewire your brain for success. A positive mindset combined with consistent effort creates an unstoppable force. So, here's the bottom line. If you want to achieve anything in life, you need to make consistency your ally. You need to commit to showing up every day, doing the work, and sticking to your goals, even when the results aren't immediately visible. Success is built on the foundation of consistent effort, and that effort compounds over time. Keep going, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Because eventually, all those small, consistent actions will add up to something huge. Success is not about sudden breakthroughs. It's about the quiet power of consistency, building momentum, and pushing you closer to your dreams. And remember, consistency doesn't require perfection. It only requires persistence. Keep showing up, and the results will follow. A growth mindset is the foundation for lifelong learning and success. It's the belief that your abilities and intelligence are not fixed traits, but can be developed through dedication, effort, and persistence. This mindset shift is crucial if you want to overcome challenges, push past your limits, and continuously improve. The concept of a growth mindset was popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck, and it has proven to be one of the most powerful principles for achieving success in every area of life. In contrast, a fixed mindset is the belief that your qualities are set in stone. People with a fixed mindset believe that talent, intelligence, and abilities are innate, and therefore their potential is limited. If they don't succeed at something right away, they see it as a sign that they're not good enough, and they often give up. This mindset keeps people stuck in their comfort zones, avoiding challenges and fearing failure, because they don't believe they can improve through effort. The first step in developing a growth mindset is to shift the way you view challenges. When you have a fixed mindset, challenges seem like threats. You might shy away from them because you fear that failure will expose your weaknesses or show that you're not capable. But with a growth mindset, challenges become opportunities. You understand that challenges are a sign of growth. They push you to expand your capabilities, and overcoming them strengthens your skills and resilience. One of the most important aspects of a growth mindset is understanding the value of effort. People with a growth mindset embrace effort as the key to learning. They understand that the more they practice, the more they improve. They're willing to put in the work, even when it's difficult, because they know that effort is what leads to mastery. Whether you're learning a new skill, developing your career, or pursuing a personal goal, it's the consistent effort that propels you forward. In contrast, those with a fixed mindset tend to shy away from putting in the effort if they don't immediately see results. They might avoid hard work, quit when things get tough because they believe they just don't have the talent or abilities to succeed. But with a growth mindset, you understand that success is a process, and you're willing to embrace the journey no matter how long it takes. Another powerful aspect of a growth mindset is the way it transforms the way you view failure. For those with a fixed mindset, failure is a reflection of their inability. They see it as a sign that they lack the necessary talent, and it discourages them from trying again. But for those with a growth mindset, failure is an opportunity for learning. It's a chance to reassess, adjust, and improve. When you fail with a growth mindset, you don't see it as an end. You see it as a stepping stone to success. Each failure offers valuable feedback. It tells you what didn't work and gives you insight into what you need to change. With a growth mindset, failure becomes part of the process. You embrace it as a necessary and essential part of growth. And as you experience failure, you become more resilient, learning how to pick yourself up, adapt, and keep moving forward. Over time, your ability to cope with failure improves, and instead of seeing it as a setback, you begin to see it as a stepping stone to your next success. In addition to failure, feedback is another critical component of developing a growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset often avoid feedback because they see it as a judgment of their abilities. They may take criticism personally and become defensive. On the other hand, individuals with a growth mindset see feedback as an opportunity for improvement. They understand that constructive criticism is meant to help them grow, and that by listening to feedback, they can fine-tune their approach and get closer to their goals. They are open to learning from others, seeking advice, and continuously refining their skills. Learning is a lifelong process, and those with a growth mindset understand that they are never done learning. They believe that there is always room to improve, and they actively seek opportunities to grow. Whether it's reading books, taking courses, or learning from mentors, individuals with a growth mindset prioritize their development. They don't see learning as something that stops after school or when they reach a certain level of expertise. They understand that growth is continuous, and every new piece of knowledge is another tool in their toolbox. The beauty of a growth mindset is that it's not about being perfect. It's about embracing the journey of continuous improvement. It's about recognizing that you're not where you want to be yet, but you're on the path. With a growth mindset, you know that success doesn't happen overnight, and it's not about talent. It's about consistent effort, learning from mistakes, and staying committed to the process. Another powerful shift that comes with a growth mindset is the way you approach others. Instead of comparing yourself to others and feeling inadequate, you begin to see their success as a source of inspiration. You understand that just because someone else is successful doesn't mean you can't be successful too. You admire their achievements, not with jealousy, but with the belief that if they can do it, so can you. You can learn from their experiences, and their success becomes proof that growth and achievement are possible for anyone who is willing to put in the work. Developing a growth mindset is a choice, and it's one that you can make right now. It's a mindset that you can cultivate through practice and persistence. Every time you face a challenge, every time you fail, and every time you receive feedback, you have an opportunity to choose how you respond. Will you choose to learn and grow? Will you give up and stay stuck? With a growth mindset, you'll see every challenge as an opportunity, every failure as a lesson, and every day as a chance to improve. So make the choice today to adopt a growth mindset. Believe in your ability to learn, grow, and achieve no matter where you are right now. Because when you embrace a growth mindset, the sky's the limit. You're capable of more than you can imagine, and with effort, persistence, and a belief in your potential, you can achieve anything. The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on your life and your success. You've probably heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. While this may sound cliche, it holds a powerful truth. The company you keep, both personally and professionally, plays a significant role in shaping your mindset, your habits, and ultimately your success. It's not just about who you are. It's also about who you are with, who influences you, and who supports you. This is why it's crucial to be intentional about the people you allow into your life. The right people, those who encourage you, challenge you, and inspire you, will help elevate you to new heights. They will push you to be better, hold you accountable, and remind you of your potential when you forget. On the other hand, the wrong people, the ones who bring negativity, doubt, and criticism, will drag you down and prevent you from reaching your full potential. That's why it's essential to make the choice to surround yourself with individuals who align with your values and support your goals. One of the most important aspects of surrounding yourself with the right people is having a strong support system. Life, especially the journey towards success, is full of ups and downs. There will be times when you feel discouraged, overwhelmed, or like giving up. During those moments, the people around you can either help you through or hold you back. A supportive network of friends, family, mentors, or colleagues can offer guidance, encouragement, and motivation when you need it the most. They can provide a fresh perspective, help you see solutions you might have missed, and remind you why you started in the first place. But support doesn't always mean comfort. Sometimes the right people will challenge you, push you out of your comfort zone, and make you face difficult truths. A good mentor, for example, won't just tell you what you want to hear. They'll offer constructive criticism, point out areas for improvement, and hold you accountable. While this may feel uncomfortable in the moment, it's the kind of challenge that leads to growth. These are the people who believe in your potential and want to see you reach your highest self, even if that means pushing you to do things you've never done before. The right people can also inspire you to dream bigger. When you're surrounded by individuals who are ambitious, driven, and constantly striving to improve, you start to raise your own expectation. You begin to see what's possible for you, not just based on your current circumstances, but based on the examples set by those around you. Success is contagious. When you see others achieving their goals, it sparks something inside you. You realize that if they could do it, so can you. They become proof that what you want is possible, and that kind of inspiration can ignite a fire in you to take action and pursue your dreams with more passion and determination. However, the opposite is also true. The wrong people can hold you back. People who are negative, skeptical, or critical can drain your energy and limit your growth. These individuals may undermine your confidence, discourage you from pursuing your goals, or keep you stuck in a mindset of scarcity and fear. They might tell you that your dreams are unrealistic or that you're not good enough to achieve them. Over time, this negativity can erode your self-belief and lead you to question your own potential. That's why it's crucial to recognize the people in your life who don't align with your vision and to be willing to distance yourself from their influence. The key is not to cut people out of your life recklessly, but to be selective about who you allow to occupy space in your life. The people you surround yourself with should be those who inspire, challenge, and support you. They should be individuals who uplift you, who encourage your growth, and who want to see you succeed. It's important to be mindful of the energy others bring into your life. Do they leave you feeling energized and motivated, or do they leave you feeling drained and defeated? Take a moment to evaluate the people around you and ask yourself whether they are helping you move closer to your goals or holding you back. Another aspect of surrounding yourself with the right people is being part of a like-minded community. Whether it's a professional network, a hobby group, or a fitness community, being around people who share your values and goals can be incredibly powerful. When you find people who are on the same journey as you not only gain support, but also gain a sense of belonging. You become part of a tribe of individuals who understand your struggles, celebrate your wins, and challenge you to be your best. This sense of community can provide motivation on days when you feel like giving up, and it can help you stay focused on the bigger picture. Being part of the right community also allows you to learn from others. Every person you meet has their own experiences, knowledge, and wisdom to share. By engaging with people who have walked a similar path, you can gain valuable insights and shortcuts that can accelerate your own growth. Whether it's a mentor who shares their experiences with you or a colleague who teaches you a new skill, the people around you can be an incredible source of knowledge and learning. The right people make you smarter, sharper, and more resourceful. You might be wondering how to find the right people to surround yourself with. Start by looking for individuals who share your values, goals, and aspirations. Seek out people who challenge you, inspire you, and believe in your potential. Attend networking events, join online communities, and seek out mentors who can help guide you on your journey. Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone and make new connections. Remember, your environment plays a huge role in shaping who you are. So take the time to build a network of people who will help you grow. Ultimately, success is not achieved alone. It's the result of collaboration, support, and the strength of your relationships. Surround yourself with the right people, those who believe in you, support you, and challenge you to be your best. And as you grow and evolve, you'll find that the people around you will evolve with you. You'll be surrounded by individuals who uplift you, celebrate your victories, and help you overcome the obstacles that come your way. The right people will help you build the life you've always dreamed of, and together you'll achieve far more than you ever could on your own.